as well as the high schools and stuff like that. I live in River Falls. You live in River Falls. What is the biggest employer in the city of River Falls? University and the school district. You take 1,000 people, let's say, that are associated or that are employed, and you take $5,000 a year out of their pockets. You just took $500,000 out of that income for that city. You don't think those people, you don't think that I'm not going to go and shop locally like I may have a year ago because my income just went down? I'm not trying to complain about my income. I'll survive this. But the bottom line is you can't say this is done to encourage high-profile jobs. That's bull. This was done totally for a political reason. Let's just say what it was.
It was done to get our budget in balance. And let me say, the budget that we passed is the first budget in over a decade that does not have a structural deficit. When you look at the debt that we are accumulating, we are growing, if we care about my kid, your kids, grandkids, we can't saddle them with this kind of debt. It's unsustainable.
And no one's arguing that. The point is, again, is how are we doing it?
We're doing it by making the tough decisions so that we don't spend money we don't have. And the reforms, these are reforms that will help, reward the best teachers. That's what we want to do.
You can't. The way the law is written now, you can't.
And
I've heard that too. Well, this is to create a good policy for good teachers. You can't. That person is locked into a cost of living raise. Period.
There's merit pay allowances.
There's merit pay in the package that supposedly is coming in June. No one knows what it is. And you know what? It'll be and we are a professional union. We became a professional union in the state to take cronyism out of public employees. What this does is just put it right back in. Because all you're doing is if you're a good person to your Republican boss or your Democratic boss, you'll get rewarded.
One of the other things that...
Because I was in the system in '85 when that's the way it was.
Well, we also put in worker protections. So we reformed the bill that... I respect that you don't agree with the reforms. And I appreciate you coming and voicing your concerns. Obviously, we need to... I believe we have the right... Workers should be protected, and that's why we reformed the bill to require that those protections be put in place for local workers, just like they are for civil service at the state level.
All that is termination for cause. That's been the law in the state of Wisconsin basically forever.
I think, and I've had a lot of input over the last several months. I think it's unfortunate. I think it's sad. When a teacher comes and says they believe that without the union representing them, they won't be treated fairly. And I've shared that with superintendents and school administrators. Because I think that's a sad, if that happens, I think that's very sad to have that attitude out there.
Why are all the handbooks rewritten?
That's because you never worked in public government where there is cronyism. I'm sorry, but I started in '85 in Pierce County, and I'm not saying Pierce County was communism, but at that point in time, we were not state employees. We were county employees. We answered to a county board, so on and so forth. I remember when a county supervisor was walking into my office as a new prosecutor and wanted to talk to me about a land dispute that he was having with his neighbor on his fence. He was a farmer. And I'm sitting there going, what in the hell does this have to do with my job? But I had to be nice to him because this guy could fire me. And we're getting off track here. But the point is, I don't see how you can say that you're encouraging high-profile, high-profit, high-tech jobs, and then basically gut the university system, gut the education system in this state. I don't worry. We'll talk about public employees at a later time. But I mean, what's going to happen when this all goes in a year is you're going to find people at the university level who are basically locked in, who have the ability to say, I'll just take my research and I'll go to MIT, I'll go to UCLA, I'll go somewhere else.
Whether it's a free society. It's a free society.
That's true, whatever. But we will be Mississippi in about a year.
The university system is an asset in our state. And they did take a cut in aid this year. Interesting, about $250 million. Previous administration cut them in one of their budgets, $250 million too. Okay? And one of the things that I worked on, that I was instrumental in getting passed, which the university has been working on for years, decades, is flexibilities. We were successful in getting that in because these flexibilities are intended to help them manage their budgets better and benefit from efficiencies that they themselves implement on campuses. Those flexibilities have been a long time coming. I'm now serving on a UW task force, of which I was instrumental in getting created, to look at additional flexibilities, and I objected and opposed strongly the governor proposing to take Madison out of the system. We were successful in avoiding that from happening. If there's a restructuring of the UW system, it needs to be done in a thoughtful way where everybody's a winner. We have a gem in the UW system. But if you read any articles on the future of higher education in any state, they recognize that the model for higher education has to change. That has to change. So that we are a survivor with a strong system. But we can't have our head in the sand saying that things are going to keep on the way they are, or go back to the way things were. And what that new model is, I can't tell you. But I am very interested and will continue to talk to people to try and figure out how we can maintain the strong university that we have. And we also have a great technical college system as well. And that is one of the two assets. Those are assets in our state. Education is important. When you look at attracting businesses into our state, education is a part of it. Do we have an open checkbook? No. Do we? We are in a world where we're never going to have all the resources we want. But it's about how we can enable reform and increase efficiency.
And again, other people want to talk, but I'm not disagreeing with you on that point. It's the way that it's being done. You can't say that you're streamlining or making the university more efficient by cutting everybody's salary. Let's be honest here. That's exactly what happened. Is there was no other reform other than everybody on campus got a pay cut.
Because they're paying 12% of their health insurance and they're paying part of their pension. Yes.
That's part of it also, but as far as again the payment, that's one thing. But there's other cuts that have taken place. Teachers I know in River Falls who have been there 15 years, they're making $60,000 a year. I don't know where people think that some of these people are rich. They have PhDs, their educational levels. But I mean, we're just going in circles here. Let somebody else talk to.
Thank you.
Our pension
Thank you.
benefits
Thanks.
are not bad, but they're still